Alright, so we have the Giants and Bucks review video coming off a Giants win. First time I've done a review video coming off a win, so I'm excited about that. And the first play, not a positive one for the Giants. We'll watch Mike Evans on the bottom here. One-on-one with Janoris Jenkins. It's going to be a cover one, so Antoine Bethea is going to drop back, play the middle of the field. One of the linebackers, who I believe Lorenzo Carter, he backs up to play in zone as well, but the outside guys are in man coverage. And Janoris Jenkins obviously had his problems with Mike Evans today. And you see him get off the line pretty easy, cut in, and he's wide open over the middle of the field. And it just happened way too much in this game. Janoris Jenkins, I mean, I expected more from him this year, but we have not got it so far. Have not seen much max effort from him yet this year either. So there's been some disappointments, and we'll get into a lot more Janoris Jenkins as this video goes on. So as I said all offseason and even during the season, the first 2 weeks, I'm just looking for improvement from this defense, and Lorenzo Carter is one of those guys we have to watch out for. So look at him right here. I like what he did here. It was good play awareness and just good recognition of what was going on here. So he's going to see that Jameis Winston's going to step up, and when Jameis Winston steps up about right here, you see him. Lorenzo Carter probably in his rookie year would have went around here, and Jameis Winston would have had more of a pocket. But now that he's in his second year in the league and knows better, this time he goes underneath and gets a clean lane right to Jameis Winston. Didn't count as a sack technically because he picked up 1 yard, but I think it was very good recognition by him on this play. He deserves some credit for it. He easily could have went outside here and created a longer pocket for Jameis Winston, but instead goes inside and takes the better angle and gets right to him in order to only hold him to a 1 yard gain. So a nice play by Lorenzo Carter right there. So here the Buccaneers have a 3rd and 6 on the Giants 21, and the Giants are trying to hold them to a field goal obviously, but this is the play where Mike Evans had his first of 3 touchdowns on the day. And I know I'm not supposed to compliment other players because some people get triggered by that for some reason, but Jameis Winston makes a great throw here. So a lot of these linebackers, I think all of them outside of, Ogletree, all blitzed on this play. So every corner, and I think Ryan Connelly it might have been, is basically left in man-on-man coverage. So you watch here, Connelly right here is left on an island with, I believe, O.J. Howard, and then down here, man-to-man everywhere, right? Janoris Jenkins is with Mike Evans. And basically, I mean, look, Janoris Jenkins had decent leverage on this play, right? He has his eyes on the ball. You can see him looking this way. But Mike Evans, I mean, Jameis Winston's played with Mike Evans for like 4 or 5 years now. He knows he's going to win most jump ball situations, but it wasn't even a jump ball. Just a perfectly placed ball by Jameis Winston. I can't get on Janoris Jenkins too much for this play. It was honestly just a really nice throw and probably an even better catch. We'll watch from this angle how much pressure there was in his face. So you see here, Jabril Peppers blitzing, Antoine Bethea blitzing, and a lot of pressure on Jameis right away. He had to get rid of this ball because Jabril Peppers was right there, O'Shane Zimenez was right there, Bethea's right here, but he gets the ball off in time, makes a perfect throw to Mike Evans. Buccaneers get 6. So can't really fault the defense too much on that play. I think it was just a quarterback making a great play and a receiver making a great catch as well. Here we have Daniel Jones' first completion in the NFL, but there's a lot more to watch on this play than just Daniel Jones and his perfect ball placement here. Watch Rhett Ellison as well. He basically makes this play happen. I mean, it is Pat Shurmur's play, but Rhett Ellison does a nice job here, and it's not necessarily a pick play. I'll show you guys why. I think Ellison's right up here, right next to the right tackle. And it's technically not a pick play because he never touches the guy, right here. You watch Ellison, but he creates enough I don't want to call it distraction, but like enough of a barrier to get around here. And Evan Engram was running a drag route the whole time, so Engram starts down here. If we watch him, Engram's man is right here, but he falls behind obviously. And right there, I mean, his man gets in his own way, and then a little bit of Rhett Ellison right here. That gives enough room for Evan Engram to make this play, and Daniel Jones, of course, makes a great play, puts him right in stride, and Evan Engram picks up like 16 yards, whatever it was on this play. We'll see from this other angle probably how accurate this throw was. The offensive line, I believe, does a really nice job here. I mean, Mike Remmers was kind of letting up some pressure, but for the most part, really nice. Daniel Jones, nice throw, and you see where he puts that ball. Perfect. Right there, right between the 8 and the 8. Great throw by Daniel Jones. Giants pick up 16 or something like that on this play. The Giants in this game were much better on converting on 3rd downs in this game as compared to what Eli Manning was doing the first 2 weeks. And here's a great throw right here. This had like Nick Foles written all over it. I believe if you go and watch my Golden Tate highlight video when he signed with the Giants, I literally believe the first play in there is the same exact thing as what happened right here. So this ball goes to Sterling Shepard, who I believe is right here in the slot. And it's probably man defense. I mean, we could see it. I do have man-D written up here. I didn't read it, of course. And runs an out route right there, but it has enough room. And Daniel Jones puts that on him. But Daniel Jones had some decent pressure on him right here. So we watch Jones. I mean, the Buccaneers are sending a lot of guys here. This looks like a safety or a corner on a blitz as well. And Daniel Jones basically does his own fadeaway right here. I mean, you see him. He's falling backwards, but still puts the ball in a perfect spot and hits Russell Shepard basically in stride right there. Picks up a lot of yards and probably like a 20-something yard gain on that play on a big 3rd and 9 play. So you love seeing that. I mean, his mobility didn't really, make that play happen, but his ball placement did, and him knowing he's going to take the hit probably and still being able to put that ball in the right spot tells you everything you need to know about Daniel Jones. He did it a lot at Duke, and we're seeing it so far in the NFL, so he doesn't care about taking the hits. He'll put the ball in the right place no matter what it is. Another 3rd down conversion for the Giants on this first offensive drive, and you have to give a lot of the credit to Evan Engram on this play, who made a ridiculous one-handed catch. I'm sure most of you saw this play, but if you haven't, then you're in store for something pretty cool right here. So Evan Engram's right here, runs another drag route, I believe. Probably man defense, yes it is, and makes a crazy one-handed catch. I don't know how he came down with this ball. I mean, having giant hands probably helps as well, but still, this is an awesome catch right here. We'll watch what the offensive line does right here on a 3rd and 6. Offensive line was alright on this play. Nate Solder was just, but still, an awesome catch. Look right here. The defender has his arm right in front of the ball. Somehow didn't reach it. Daniel Jones put it in a place where only Engram can get it. I don't want to give Daniel Jones too much credit on this throw, but still, Evan Engram made this play happen. It was awesome, and it moved the sticks for the Giants once again. Ryan Connelly, the inside linebacker for the Giants, making his 2nd career start in this game, was pretty impressive in this one. We'll watch him right here, I believe he is. Number 57, had an interception in this game as well. Of course, we'll go over it. And then meets Ronald Jones right in the hole here for like a 1-yard gain, or I think it was no gain actually. But, in this particular play, it looks simple, but we see some linebackers, especially on the Giants, not make tackles like this. And when you're in the hole like this, it depends who the running back is, of course. If this is Saquon Barkley, he might get out of this. But it's a good job right here by Ryan Connelly to wrap him up. It wasn't the most perfect technique. He went a little high there, but still brought him down. Giants brought another man as well. I don't know who that is. Maybe Olsen Pierre, maybe? I don't know. 2 guys were making that tackle there. So a nice play by Ryan Connelly. And he's one of those guys, one of those young guys who's going to keep getting better game by game. So I'm excited to watch his development in the 2019 season. I talked about Janoris Jenkins' effort level before, and this is an instance where it just annoyed me, honestly. Watching this play live just pissed me off so much. There was just no effort from him on this play, it seemed like, at all. And right here, when you see Jameis Winston loading to throw this ball, he should be darting from Mike Evans, but there's just a very delayed reaction. We see it from Antoine Bethea as well. There's not much of a reaction here, and Mike Evans can just walk into the end zone for a touchdown. Just too easy. You see Antoine Bethea, he's not even moving at that point. When the ball comes out of, I was calling Janoris Jenkins, Jameis Winston's hands, right here, why aren't you making a move to get over to the ball if you're Antoine Bethea? And same thing with Janoris Jenkins. Why aren't you trying to clog this hole? If Mike Evans beats you outside, then so be it. At least you have DeAndre Baker over here who could shed this block and make the tackle. But if you're Janoris Jenkins, why aren't you getting to this hole? It just makes no sense to me. There was not enough effort on this play at all. Just annoying to watch, to be honest with you. I'm sure you guys are with me on this play, but it was just the lack of effort there was just ridiculous to watch. So it seems like Dexter Lawrence is getting better game by game so far in his NFL experience in the first 3 games of his NFL career. We watch him number 97 right here. He's right next to B.J. Hill, and I feel really bad for this offensive lineman right here because he has to guard both of these guys in one kick. It's just, being an offensive lineman on kicks is probably a terrible job, and he just gets too much penetration there and gets his right hand on that ball. Great job by Dexter Lawrence on that play. If he can come up with more block kicks, which is very hard to do, but if he can do that maybe a few times a year, that would be awesome. He definitely has the strength for it. That is just a massive human being just coming right at you, and this guy only had his left side of his body to try and take care of the 350 pounds that Dexter Lawrence has. So he gets a hand on this ball, knocks it away, saves the Giants a point. The Giants won this game by a point, so you can technically say that this play won the game for them. So part of the reason I've been banging on the table the last few years as to why I don't want Eli Manning as our quarterback anymore is not because I only thought he was inefficient at this point in his career, but a play like this, a 3rd and 5, you're on your own 30, looking like a 3-and-out potentially, but what happens here, Buccaneers and man defense, it looks like they have one safety back, And, they have two linebackers right here in zone defense underneath. But Daniel Jones, there's nobody open on this play. So right here, when he's in the pocket, which is right here, if this is Eli Manning, right, let's pretend this is number 10, not number 8. This man right here for the Buccaneers gets through. He's done right here. That's a sack. The Giants have to punt the ball on 3 and out right there. But Daniel Jones offers a different aspect with his legs to this team. He just runs around. And right here, this linebacker easily should have made this play between the 20 and the 30. The first down's at the 35. So this linebacker easily should have made this play, but he didn't. Daniel Jones is able to outrun him, pick up an extra 10 yards, and picks up a first down. This is not me trying to diss Eli Manning. It's just not part of his game. And, Daniel Jones offers a different aspect to this team, and his running ability is definitely going to help pick up some very tough yardage in 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2 situations as the season goes on. So a term used around the Giants a lot because they have so many young players is rookie mistake. And we saw one here from Darius Slayton, who made his debut, had 86 yards, had a really nice game in this one. There's definitely going to be some positives from him later. But you see here, Daniel Jones does a nice job of trying to buy time here. Whoever this linebacker is right here completely jumps over the head of Wayne Gallman and makes a nice play there. But Daniel Jones gets this play off, and he, I think he's running an in-cut, I guess, or a slant, Darius Slayton, and you can tell he should have had this ball. It was at his numbers. He had to go down and get it a little bit, but this ball should have been caught. Unfortunately, dropped it, and that was the one red flag about Darius Slayton coming out of college was the drops, and, luckily he had a good game in this one. He definitely helped the team more than he didn't help them in this one, but the drops hopefully won't be an issue in the future, but this kind of stuff happens, and they just need to fix it up. It is a tough catch, so I don't want to get on him too much, but it's just stuff like that can sometimes kill a drive. So there's a 3rd and 4 here. I believe we're on Tampa's 26 at this point, and there's going to be an offsides penalty on, I believe, Shaq Barrett, who's up here, and we'll see the flag thrown by the referee, probably up here somewhere. I don't know if we can even see it or not. So you see him leave early there. The flag is thrown, and Daniel Jones does a great job of getting out of this somehow. Daniel Jones at some points in this game did not have great pocket awareness, but on this particular play, he was able to step up at the right moment, and he finds Saquon Barkley, who right here is going to just leak out. No one's going to account for him, and he gets a nice gain on this play. So this was just an awesome play. We would not see this from number 10 as well. And look, I'm going to refer to Eli Manning a lot during this. Not just to come at him or anything like that, but there's plays that Daniel Jones made in this game and that he's going to make in the future that number 10 just does not make. And you see wide open Saquon Barkley down here, just a very nice play by him. But I'm very impressed with Daniel Jones and what he did in this game. Obviously, a lot of young quarterbacks in this instance would probably just go down when they felt pressure, but he gets out of it. There were a couple instances in this game. Right there. Shaq Barrett's on his arm. He could have fumbled the ball right there, but he held on to it, stepped out of it, rolled out to his left, and made it a nice throw there to Saquon Barkley, who almost scored on this play if he was somehow able to hurdle that defender, but it was a long shot anyway. But instead of picking up 5 yards on the penalty, the Giants pick up probably 15 yards on that play instead, so a nice job right there by Daniel Jones. The Giants have a 2nd and 7 here on the Tampa 7. I don't know why it's not 2nd and goal, but they call it 2nd and 7. And this is the read option play where Daniel Jones scores a touchdown. We never see this as Giant fans, of course. This is the first time we've seen a quarterback keeper probably in Giants history. Not history. They did have some rushing quarterbacks back before I was alive. But you see here they have Russell Shepard in motion, fake the handoff. You draw some of the linebackers over here. They go to the top of the screen. They have to account for Russell Shepard in some instance. Russell Shepard might have scored on this play if they gave it to him, but who cares? So you see here, fake to Saquon Barkley. And right here, this safety right here crashes a little too hard for Daniel Jones' liking. He says, all right, I'll take advantage of it. Daniel Jones runs to the outside, has enough room, has the angle, picks up a touchdown. 2 rushing touchdowns in this game for Daniel Jones. And we'll see from this angle what he was seeing, hopefully. I don't know if we'll see everything. So right about right here, Daniel Jones' eyes is right here on this safety, and he sees that the safety kind of crashed a little bit, expecting Saquon to take this ball. He was in a little bit too far for Daniel Jones to give that ball to Saquon. Daniel Jones was confident that he could beat him to the outside, and that's exactly what happened. He did that. And honestly, just a nice play by him to outrun. Daniel Jones does have some surprising wheels. If this is the first time you've watched Daniel Jones, you're probably surprised with how fast he was. This was the first thing I noticed watching him at Duke. He does have some very surprising speed. And, his legs just, I said it a million times already. They definitely add a different aspect to this offense, and I love it. So this is not what you want to see from a number one corner on the team, and Janoris Jenkins did not play like a number one corner in this game, so he's going to be left in man coverage on Mike Evans. He's giving him about 6-7 yards on this play, but he still gets beat. He still gets beat deep somehow on this play. So Mike Evans is, he's not slow, but he's not the fastest receiver. He's definitely more of a physical specimen than a speed receiver, but gets by Janoris anyway. And once again, I don't want to say it again, but Jameis Winston makes a great throw on this ball. The Giants did bring some pressure on this play as well. You see number 36 right here. I don't know if that is, who is number 36? I think that might be Sean Chandler. I'm not even sure, honestly. I should have researched that before, but gets some nice pressure right there on Jameis Winston. Jameis has like his right leg taken out, but still makes a perfect throw to a pretty wide open Mike Evans, who had like a step or two on Janoris Jenkins, and they pick up another huge gain of 55 yards on that play. So I looked it up, and number 36 is Sean Chandler, so I do stand corrected on that, but I probably should have known that either way. He doesn't play that much, though, so you can't hate on me too much for that. So here we have a 3rd and 9 for the Buccaneers. They're on the Giants' 19-yard line, and this is, I don't want to call it a coverage sack because the defensive line got there pretty fast, but Jameis Winston really had no options to throw this ball outside of this top route right here. He's going to run an out route, and he has room to make a throw, but by the time he makes this cut outside, Jameis Winston's going to be pressured by Marcus Golden, so he really didn't have time to make that throw. You see right about here, when Chris Godwin makes that cut out, that's when Jameis Winston starts to scramble to his left, and when he scrambles to his left, nobody's really open right here. Mike Evans is not open. Probably this is Cameron Brate maybe wide open. No, he's not open at all. One of the running backs, the guy named, I think that's Dare or whatever his name is. I forget his last name. It's a tricky last name, that guy. The Giants get a sack on this play right here from O'Shane Zimenez, who's really impressed me so far. I like what I saw from him in college. You guys know I loved him before the Giants even drafted him. Does a nice job. Number 53 right here. Uses his hands, but just never gives up on the play. Olsen Pierre was there as well to provide some pressure. So a nice job by the coverage on that play and the defensive line creating some pressure. So here the Giants have a 3rd and 15 on their own 19-yard line. And for years I've been bitching and complaining about how the Giants really never take shots on 3rd and longs. And they do here, but Daniel Jones nearly throws an interception on this play. They're going to play some very deep cover 2 right here. You see the 2 safeties on the Bucs drop back right here. They are literally 20 yards away from the line of scrimmage at this point. And this safety right here undercuts and sees Daniel Jones' eyes and nearly makes a play. Should have been an interception on this play, but luckily he dropped it. But when you look at what Daniel Jones was seeing on this play, there's really nothing he could do on this play, unfortunately. The first down is right here at the 34-yard line, so they got a ways to go at this point. And Daniel Jones is given a nice pocket. I kind of wish he gave this a little extra time. Maybe try running through here. If he can pick up a first down, maybe he would slide around here and maybe pick up a first or something like that. But goes for a tough completion here to, I don't know, I think that's Benny Fowler. Okay, that's Benny Fowler probably. And safety makes a really great play there, except he just didn't use his hands correctly. But, that's a rookie mistake right there, plain and simple. Daniel Jones was not eyeing down the same receiver the whole time. At least he was looking to the left and drew that safety over there. But there were 2 safeties on this play, so that really doesn't matter. And he nearly makes an interception on this play. But, he dropped it, so who cares? He'll learn from that. He'll watch the film. Daniel Jones is a smart kid, so I'm really not concerned about that. Rookies are allowed to make mistakes, so shit happens. So Alec Ogletree makes a nice play here, nearly a pick 6 if he just hung on to the ball. It was a very tough play. So he's right here, number 47 with the long sleeves. He's going to cover this tight end right here, who just makes a quick little out route. But Alec Ogletree was all over it. It makes a great play. Ogletree's been around the block a few times. He's probably seen this route a million times in his life. This is a great angle for it right here. So he's guarding this man right here. And he's basically all over this play. Unfortunately, he did not catch the ball, but it was a tough play, so I'm not going to say too much about it. Could have been a pick 6, though. It would have been a huge play. Unfortunately, Ogletree got injured later in the game, so the Giants need their young inside linebackers, Tay Davis, and this man, Ryan Connelly, to step up next game in Washington. So 2 guys to watch on this play. We have our second-year defensive lineman, R.J. McIntosh, number 90 right here. No, that's not Jason Pierre-Paul. It is R.J. McIntosh making a nice Jason Pierre-Paul type play here. And nearly gets a sack on Jameis Winston. Winston does a nice job of ducking underneath and making a good throw here. This was called defensive pass interference, which I don't agree with. I don't feel like it was quote-unquote egregious. And we see O.J. Howard right here running a wheel route, and this is Jabril Peppers, and obviously our last safety, who was number 21, had some issues in coverage. So seeing stuff like this is very encouraging. I don't think Jabril Peppers did that bad of a job here. He did not turn his head, which is the issue, and apparently he had his hand on what's his name, O.J. Howard's arm for a little bit, so they called pass interference. But watch here, we watch R.J. McIntosh, who just easily goes around his guy. That's encouraging to see if he can create some pass rush as well. Nearly gets the sack. Nice step up by Winston. Makes a good throw, but I mean, I don't know if that's pass interference, honestly. I feel like that's should be a non-reversible type thing. I don't think it was that bad. You obviously wish Jabril Peppers had his head turned around, but I mean, look, a lot of people rip on O.J. Howard. He's still a very, very talented tight end, so I'm impressed that Jabril Peppers was able to stay with him anyway, so I think that's a nice play. Just unfortunate the refs called that a pass interference. So there goes that man again, O.J. Howard, making another big play on the Giants right here. This time it was converted. It wasn't a pass interference. It was Grant Haley getting beat on this play, our slot corner, who for some reason was matched up with the tight end. O.J.'s right here. Grant Haley's right here. Bumps him a little bit there and then gains like 3 yards of separation. Jameis puts the ball in a decent spot. They pick up a lot of yards on this play. I mean, it's kind of a weird formation. What was going on here? They had some man coverage going on top of the screen. Not sure who was accounted for with O.J. Howard here. I mean, the Bucs only had 2 or 3 guys, if you count the running back, out on a route here. And Grant Haley is unfortunately matched up with O.J. Howard, which is a mismatch. I mean, Grant Haley is a slot corner. Now he's facing a 6'4" tight end who's a very freakishly athletic player, and gets in front of Haley. And, Grant Haley had an off game in this one, I'm not going to lie, and then, that's unfortunate, but that's just a mismatch for him, and a nice job by the Buccaneers exploiting that. So the Bucs with a 3rd and 7 here on the Giants, 9-yard line. Second quarter's coming to an end here, so the Giants would love to hold them to a field goal and create a 3-point game at the worst, and the Giants are in a Tampa 2 defense here against Tampa. How funny is that? And we watch here, I think it's Ogletree who drops back in coverage here, picks up one of the tight ends, Cameron Brate. Nice job there. There's really nowhere to go with the ball, and Dexter Lawrence creates pressure on this play. This is the play that Ogletree got hurt on. I mean, you guys remember Jabril Peppers pushes him down and stuff, so that was just unfortunate. But if you watch from the other angle, Dexter Lawrence, our first rounder, makes a nice push right here on the right guard and gets to Jameis Winston, creating that near sack, fumble, whatever you want to call it. Creates an incompletion. I have no idea why this play wasn't blown dead. I mean, my theory is that the refs were told to let plays go based off what happened in the Saints and Rams game week 2. If you saw the play with Cameron Jordan, you know what I'm talking about. So it's not really the refs' fault, but I mean, this kind of play obviously was an incomplete pass, so it's unfortunate that our starting linebacker got injured on a play that didn't really count. So, of course, Daniel Jones made a lot of great plays passing the ball today. This is a 3rd and 5. I was a big fan of this play because it's against his own defense, and Daniel Jones showed a lot of poise and patience on this play. So, even when the pocket was collapsing, he still stood in there and made a really good throw to Darius Slayton across the middle of the field here. So, you watch the offensive line. I mean, it is kind of breaking down in a way, but Daniel Jones just continues to stand tall, keep his eyes downfield, step up in the pocket even, and deliver a strike over the middle of Darius Slayton. I mean, that's just a great play right there. I mean, he had 2 options on this play. He could have went for this curl, or he could have went for Darius Slayton right here. He decides to go to Slayton, and he makes a great catch. We talked about Slayton's drop before, but him catching balls like that is basically part of his game. I mean, he definitely can catch the easy ones like that. It's just, the intermediate routes and stuff like that he has some trouble with. So Darius Slayton goes up, makes a nice play there. Giants pick up a first down, but I'm a big fan of what I saw from Daniel Jones on this play. Steps up, pockets collapsing around him, keeps the eyes downfield, just throws a strike right to Darius Slayton between the numbers. A perfect throw by him, and you really have to be encouraged by what you see from Daniel Jones so far, at least in his first start. So this play, I mean, Daniel Jones did overthrow the receiver by a little bit on this play, but it's just refreshing to see this stuff because, as you guys know, I've complained a lot the last couple years about Eli Manning not taking shots enough, and this is a play where Daniel Jones took a necessary shot. We watched Russell Shepard on the bottom of the screen here. There was a window. He could have made this play here. The throw was just a bit too far for him, but still just a great decision there. I mean, I like the decision a lot. I wrote it even on the top here, like the decision. I like what he did here with this ball. He could have went underneath here to, I believe, Evan Engram. He probably could have picked up a first down, but still, I'm all for taking the deep shot if it's there. Daniel Jones does it. You'll get pass interference calls and stuff like that on plays like that, but unfortunately, the ball is a little too far. We'll watch the offensive line on this play and what they did. I don't know how many people the Bucs sent. Looks like only 4 on this play, the offensive line. I mean, they were getting some decent pressure on them, but they stood tall, they hung in there, and unfortunately the ball was just a little far out in front of Russell Shepard, but could have been a really big play right there, but I like the decision from Jones a lot. So first play out of the half, the Giants come in here trailing 18 points, and they get 7 of them, or actually, I think they got 8 of them. I think they went for 2 after this, so they get 8 points on the first play right here. We watch Evan Engram. Where is he? Believe right here, number 88. And this is a great throw once again by Daniel Jones. It looks like a simple throw, but this is the type of throw that if you hit the guy in stride, he has a chance to score, and that's exactly what we saw right here. Just a great play. Not so good tackling right here by whoever this safety is, but it's good for us. And Darius Slayton right here, the rookie, makes a nice block up here. Look, I mean, he did enough to get in front of his guy. It wasn't the most excellent block you'll ever see, but he did enough. And Evan Engram is the fastest tight end in the sport and does the rest. I mean, I like what I saw right there. Sometimes a rookie receiver will forget to do stuff like that, just a simple block downfield to enable a play like that to happen. We watch right here the throw. I mean, it's probably just right in stride. I mean, yeah, that is perfect right there where this ball hits him. Hits him in stride. I mean, if he had to come back for this ball a little bit, like even a tiny bit, if he had to reach back a little bit this way, this safety probably would have made the play. But the fact that Evan Engram can keep his feet going and stay in stride creates too much of a bad angle for the safety, and just a good enough block by Darius Slayton downfield to create the touchdown. 75 yards for Evan Engram to start the third quarter. So a lot of people said this is their favorite throw from Daniel Jones in this game, and I really can't argue it. He showed basically everything on this play. I like the route that Darius Slayton runs on top here, a little double move. Safety kind of bid on it as well. He wasn't really taking into account that Darius Slayton was going to go deep on this play, and the safety does not go back far enough, and it gives Daniel Jones enough time to make this throw. But Daniel Jones, his pocket awareness and his legs made this play happen. I don't think if Daniel Jones was elusive, he probably would not have made this throw. You watch Daniel Jones here. So this guy coming off the edge, he basically has a pretty clear lane at Daniel Jones, but Jones steps up enough and buys himself enough time to make this throw. Just a great play, especially by a 22-year-old to make this, and just an awesome throw right there, hitting Slayton in stride. Unfortunately, did not get in the end zone, but the Giants scored anyway. I mean, watch here, this angle. So right here, this guy's going to come off the edge. Red Ellison did not do a great job blocking on this play, which is surprising because I do like him as a blocker, and I think that's Elijah Penny, I think, number 39. Yes, it is. Coming for the chip and just gets enough of him. And Daniel Jones, once again, keeping the eyes downfield. That's what he's been doing so far. We saw it all preseason. We saw it in this game a lot. This is a very tough throw, honestly. Throwing like across your body down the middle of the field. Hits Darius Slayton right where it needs to be, a little bit high, but just a perfect throw. And Darius Slayton picks up a big 46-yard gain to put the Giants right at the 4-yard line. So Daniel Jones makes up for this mistake with a really nice play on the next play, or 2 plays from now. But on this particular play, he did have a touchdown to Russell Shepard. He just did not see it. And we talk about some rookie mistakes and stuff like that. Runs the play action, has enough time here. And Russell Shepard, right at this point, I mean, he's pretty wide open. These 2 defenders are guarding this is Russell Shepard, dummy. Sterling Shepard right here. And you see, I mean, Russell Shepard was open for a decent amount here. Jones is looking at him, but for some reason did not pull the trigger. He really had a touchdown right here. Both of these defenders had their backs turned, but unfortunately did not see it. Throws the ball incomplete, but that's a play where he probably should have had a touchdown on. We watch from this angle as well. We'll see what Daniel Jones was seeing. I mean, right at this point right here, when you see both of these defenders with their backs turned, you probably have to rip it right here to Russell Shepard for a touchdown. Just waits a little bit too long and throws a little bit behind them as well. So, just a rookie mistake, but he makes up for it in 2 plays, and we'll get to that right now. So here's where Daniel Jones makes up for it on that next play, or 2 plays from then. This is a 3rd and 7 now, and we watch Sterling Shepard on the bottom of the screen here. The Giants had 3 receivers on the bottom here in the formation. These 2 receivers cut in. Sterling Shepard cuts out. And watch the press coverage right here. I mean, he takes a blow to the head coming off a concussion, which is not good to see. Should have been like hands to the face or whatever that stupid call is. I mean, they could have called it on this guy right here. Watch Sterling Shepard. I mean, he takes a blow to the head, still runs his route, has 2 guys on him, and Daniel Jones places it perfectly. It looked just like Daniel Jones' first touchdown against the Jets. The one to Benny Fowler in the corner of the end zone is exactly what this play reminded me of. And Daniel Jones has proven that he can throw this route many times, the corner route. He's good at it. Right there, loads up for it and hits Sterling Shepard right in stride, puts it where only Sterling Shepard can get it, just like that Benny Fowler play for his first touchdown in a Giants uniform. Awesome play by Daniel Jones right there. I'll play it for you guys one more time because it's just a beautiful thing. Perfect throw. Gotta love that. Awesome job by Daniel Jones and Sterling Shepard to hold on to that ball. So the Giants' 3rd down defense on the season has been atrocious so far. We have a 3rd and 8, but in the second half they played much better in this game, and here's an example of it. They have a cover 2 man, it looks like. They have 2 deep safeties on this play. Everyone else is playing man. And look, nowhere to go here, nowhere to go here. He had a second to go here, nowhere to go here, nowhere to go here. And by the time he has, Marcus Golden is behind him at this point, so Jameis Winston probably has it in the back of his mind that he has very little time to make a throw at this point. Marcus Golden makes a spin move behind Jameis Winston, some more pressure coming at him. Still nobody is open. Marcus Golden comes in for the cleanup sack. Just some really nice job. I mean, that's a coverage sack right there. That's the definition of a coverage sack. We'll watch from this angle and see the kind of pressure that, and this is a weird formation. The Giants have one defensive lineman basically. I mean, they have one out here. This is a very weird formation for what was going on here. Marcus Golden comes in. O'Shane comes in on the stunt. And Marcus Golden, right behind Jameis Winston, he feels it. He tries to step up, buy himself some time. Olsen Pierre is there. Marcus Golden's there. And Golden trips him up, makes a nice sack there. I believe that's his second of the game or something like that. Really nice job by the Giants secondary on that play. So, I don't want to nitpick everything because, of course, when you rewatch a game, there's going to be a lot of things that stand out. But this is a play that I watched that I felt like could have been a really big play as long as Mike Remmers didn't allow a pressure. And that's exactly what happened here. You watch, there's a drag route being ran by, this is Evan Engram down here. So they run a pick play once again. So watch Red Ellison. It's the same thing as the first play we saw on the offense where he basically set a pick. And it's probably the same exact play as the first one to Evan Engram. And this time, once again, could have been a very big play. He sets the pick there. No flag was thrown. That's kind of surprising. I feel like they throw the flag for this a lot. You see Red Ellison there setting a pick on Engram's guy. But due to the fact that there's too much pressure on his right side, Daniel Jones really couldn't face his body towards Evan Engram and make that play. He was looking to the left anyway. So, look, if Evan Engram makes this catch right here, he has enough room to turn up field. Could have laid a block out here from the receiver, and he probably maybe could have scored another touchdown. Who knows? With Evan Engram, anything could happen. But he would have at least had a first down on that play, so it's unfortunate. And Daniel Jones, look, he's made many great throws this game, but that's a throw right there, a little out of the reach of his receiver. So we watch Mike Remmers, number 74 here. And it just lets the defender get up in Danny's grill a little too much. And Daniel Jones still makes a good throw. I mean, this is he makes the right decision. I mean, obviously, Evan Engram would have been the best decision. But he still finds an opening in the defense. And just a little too far out in front of Sterling Shepard. So once again, I like the decision making, and it's just, you can't make every throw. This is not Madden where, you can't make a 99 overall quarterback. These guys are human. They can't make every throw, but still, the decision making from Daniel Jones is something I can get on board with right there. So I labeled this play your $62 million left tackle. And look, I was on board with the Nate Solder signing. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of Gettleman free agent signings, but this is one that I felt was necessary because they couldn't go into last season with Eric Flowers at left tackle. And Nate Solder, we all know, is one of those guys who gets better as the season goes on, and I really hope that's the case this year. This is a terrible showing right here. Shaq Barrett runs a very nice spin move on him. And watching this game annoys me that Shaq Barrett was not signed by our team because Shaq Barrett is only on a 1-year, $4 or $5 million contract right now. I wish we signed him. But you watch here, he gets right by Nate Solder, creates what the refs called a fumble. I think it was overturned because obviously that's not a fumble as his hand or his arm is going forward. And, Nate Solder just has to be better than this. You can't expect this with your franchise left tackle, a guy that you pay a ton of money to. I understand Shaq Barrett was going off this game, but he made him look way too good in this game, and you just can't have that kind of stuff. So here's another play that you can basically call a coverage sack. I mean, we watched the coverage once again. Just fantastic up and down. You watch the secondary on this play. There's really nowhere Jameis could have went with this ball at any point, you feel like. I mean, right here is where he's facing pressure from, I believe that's Dexter Lawrence right there. There's really nowhere he can go with the ball. That's covered. Safety help, that's covered. I mean, maybe he has a play right here on the out route, but still that's a tough throw to make. And you watch Dexter Lawrence gets on Jameis Winston, gets the sack. That counts as his first career sack. Dexter Lawrence had a fumble earlier, but it was not considered a sack. But this is officially his first NFL sack, so you love to see that. I mean, look how powerful he is. I mean, that's just amazing right there. Gets to Jameis Winston. Nice job by Dexter Lawrence, and congrats on his first actual NFL sack. So, as we know, DeAndre Baker, our rookie in the first round, our cornerback, had a very rough first 2 games, but right here, I love what I saw from him. A lot of people, not a lot, but some people were calling him a bust already, which I think is ridiculous to say after 2 games. Watch him right here on Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is a pretty damn good receiver, but watch what he does on him right here. I mean, He makes a little double move here, acts like he's running out, and then cuts upfield once again. And Jameis Winston has all day to make this throw. But DeAndre Baker sticks right with him the whole time. Gets his head turned right here. You see him, he's locating the ball. That's great, stride for stride with him. And then, I think Pat Shurmur challenged for offensive pass interference. You could see Chris Godwin throw him down there. I thought it was a stupid challenge, and the Giants lost it, unfortunately. But that's just an awesome play by DeAndre Baker. If he makes strides like this over the season, he will become this team's best cornerback. I don't know why I cut the clip short right there. We'll just watch it one more time. But if he can play like this, he'll be the Giants' best cornerback by season's end. He's right here, number 27. Love everything I saw from him on this play. From locating the ball to being with a great receiver stride from stride. It's just, you love seeing stuff like that from a young guy. So we just talked about Dexter Lawrence's first official NFL sack. This is the first official interception of Ryan Connelly's career, another rookie. He is number 57. I can't locate him right now. We'll see as the play goes on. If you guys can see him, good for you, because I cannot locate him right now. Actually, he's right here. I see him. Okay. Jameis Winston just gave him this ball. This was a terrible throw. The defensive line added enough pressure. This next angle tells the whole story right here. So watch Olsen Pierre, it looks like. Nope, that's... I don't know. Oh, I guess it's Marcus Golden. Okay, so Marcus Golden on the edge right here gives enough pressure to Jameis Winston to make him make this terrible throw. Jameis Winston looked like he was playing darts on this throw. That's just not how you throw a football. I'm no quarterback, but that's not how you're supposed to throw a football. Throws behind Mike Evans, and Ryan Connelly luckily gets his hands up in time to make this play. I give him a lot of credit. It looks like an easy interception when you watch it from here, when you watch it on TV, but I cannot tell you how many times defensive players drop balls like that. We saw it on Daniel Jones' throw before. The safety dropped the ball. Ryan Connelly makes the play. Look, Ryan Connelly looks like a good player. If he can keep making strides like this, he could be a really good starting linebacker for us for the next decade. So I'm excited for him, and that was a huge play and a big momentum shift in this game. So I talked about before how the Giants' third down defense has not been good the first two games, but the second half of this game it was much better, and Michael Thomas makes a potential game-saving tackle on this play. The Giants have one timeout left, a 2-minute warning, of course. It wasn't going to be victory formation for the Bucs if they got this first down, but still, it was a huge stop by Michael Thomas on this play. So you watch Thomas right here. Break goes in motion. Thomas follows him, which lets the Tampa Bay offense know that it's man coverage, but still, Jameis Winston goes out to him, throws a quick little swing route to Cameron Brate and makes a perfect tackle, goes thigh high, and stops him short of the sticks. That's just a great tackle to potentially save the game right there. And of course, the Giants went on to win this game, so you can call that a game-saving tackle. Michael Thomas right here. Great technique, dives at the legs, and does not allow Cameron Brate to pick up any additional yardage, stops him short, and that's just a great play right there and a clutch situation on defense. So here we go, the final drive, the Daniel Jones comeback victory right here. There's 3 minutes left on the dot in this game, 2nd and 5 situation on their own 30. They get a big play here to Darius Slayton, the rookie, on top of the screen for 21 yards. And you watch here just a very deep curl. Daniel Jones puts the ball in a good spot, a tiny bit high, but still just a nice catch by Darius Slayton. You see him right there. And probably should have went out of bounds, but it is what it is. And, just made a really nice play there. Daniel Jones makes a nice throw. Daniel Jones was not afraid of the moment. You love seeing that from a rookie quarterback. The offensive line held up pretty nicely there. Nate Solder once again getting beat on that play, but Daniel Jones got it off just in time. And Darius Slayton makes a big catch right there. So a nice job by those two guys. So now a 2nd and 10, same drive, 2:15 left in the game. Giants have no timeouts left at this point. And I don't know what the Bucs were doing on defense here necessarily. I think it was a cover 4, because if you watch what they do on defense here, 1, 2, 3, 4 all drop back in coverage, and then Sterling Shepard is just left unaccounted for. I don't know if this linebacker right here or cornerback, whoever he is, was supposed to stick with Shepard. I don't know what happened, but there's no way that this whole side of the field should be open on this play. I feel like maybe this corner was supposed to be lower and it should have been a cover 3. I have no idea, honestly, but it left Sterling Shepard wide open, and it's just a great throw by Daniel Jones once again to find the open receiver, because honestly, if we went back and watched this game, watched the coach's film right here, and we saw Daniel Jones miss Sterling Shepard on this play, we all would have been very pissed off. So props to Daniel Jones right here, has a good pocket and finds Sterling Shepard for a nice gain, picks up 36 yards on this play, gets the Giants inside the Bucs 15-yard line, sets them up for victory, and we watch right here, the offensive line. Nate Solder finally does a pretty good job on this play. Red Ellison on the outside does a great job on his man as well. I think the offensive line did great on that play, and just a nice job of finding the wide open Sterling Shepard. So here we go, the big moment, 4th and 5, 1:20 left in the game, and the Giants, of course, need to score a touchdown. They're down 6 at this moment, and Daniel Jones comes up clutch, rushing in a touchdown right here. And honestly, you can argue that Todd Bowles won the Giants the game right here. So the Giants send Benny Fowler in motion. His man follows him, so the Giants know right off the bat, or Daniel Jones especially knows right away, this is man defense right off the bat. And we watch what happens here. So everyone's covered pretty well, I believe, on this play. We've heard everyone on TV talk about this play. The offensive line, the tackles, I mean, they give up the outside here, and Daniel Jones has to step up in the pocket, makes a nice move. There's really nowhere he could have went with this ball. So when Daniel Jones steps up here, there's really nowhere to throw the ball. It's a 4th and 5. Throwing here is very risky. Obviously, this receiver's not looking at him. This is covered up nicely, and right here, of course, is covered up nicely as well. There is nowhere Daniel Jones can go with this ball. The defenders mostly have their backs turned because it is man coverage, as I said, and Daniel Jones knows that already and just has a wide open lane and takes it. He does a great job here. And look, I don't want to bring it up once again, but if Eli Manning was quarterback and the Giants were in this situation, if Eli Manning was in this situation right here, I don't know if they convert. I mean, he might have thrown to Benny Fowler right here, and maybe Fowler picks up a first down right here, but that's tough to tell. Who knows? But right here, Daniel Jones uses those legs, picks up not only the first down, but a touchdown, and just an awesome moment for Giants fans right there. This was unbelievable. One of those jaw-dropping moments. I mean, I was sitting on my couch, just like a stunned look on my face when this happened. Just so happy, and just an awesome move right there by Daniel Jones. But the Giants did leave the Bucs enough time to come back, and they probably should have came back and won this game, but they did miss a field goal. It is what it is. I could have went over the Mike Evans catch on the next drive, but I really didn't feel like it. I did like 37 plays in this review, so this is a ton of plays. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys for the Redskins preview on Thursday night.